It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep, and I thought I would make some noodles. So while we wait for our noodles to cook, I'm gonna take a Buzzfeed quiz. Let's do a food quiz because, you know, I'm eating food or waiting for food. This hot versus cold food showdown will determine exactly how old you are. I want to know how old I am. How do I like my coffee? I like it hot, like my men. How do you like your pasta, hot or cold? Hot. It is nood-o-clock, and we heat up our pasta. We're not heathen. How do you like your cake? Hot or cold? Oh, like an ice cream cake. I like it hot. Lava cake. Oh my god, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about this lava cake. I am 26 years old. You might be younger, but you possess the wisdom and maturity of someone several years older. For example, you've always connected better with people older than you. This is actually true. Okay, so now we know how old I am. Our noodles are ready. I love Cup-O-Noodles. I love instant noodles. I couldn't sleep. I tried watching some Bob Ross to put me to bed, but that didn't work. And my stomach started growling. So here we are. It's too hot. Also, okay, the past few nights, they've been like shooting fireworks off. Like they put them in barrels or garbage cans or something because they are loud. They will shoot fireworks off until like 1 in the morning. Like go and they'll shoot them off in the middle of the day. What? Who are you? Let me tell you about that lava cake. Lava cake means high school to me. It's because of my best friend. Man, it was after every show, we would all go to this 24-hour diner called Shari's. We would go, you know, at 10 p.m., 9 or 10 p.m. And we'd stay there until like midnight. And Eliza is my best friend. What if I just called her? So best friend bought this. So best friend would always get herself a lava cake. And so whenever I see a lava cake, I think of her and I think of our time going to Shari's after all of these shows. It's pretty great. Gosh, high school was so weird. I hated high school. I really did. I did have some good moments though. I had a lot of just get me out of here moments. I guess that quiz actually was really right. Like my freshman year, I was friends with the seniors and then I didn't have friends. Man, that was hard. Not academically, let's be real. I just did the work. I passed the classes. It's not that hard to pass high school sometimes. Sometimes it is. I took some AP classes, those are hard. I wouldn't want to do those again. AP Gov, just put me out of my misery. I feel bad for all the kids who are taking, well, I don't feel bad for all the kids. I feel bad for all the kids who have to take AP Gov right now in this political climate with a pandemic, all of these protests, and basically a massive second wave of the civil rights movement, because that's just so much information that could be on the final test. I found my niche, which was the music and theater kids. We would all eat lunch in the choir hall. Most of my friends were in choir. I did a lot of shows in high school. I was Ado Annie in Oklahoma with my best friend Eliza as Lori. Wait, was that her name? Lori, yeah. I assistant directed Oklahoma a few years ago. I should know the names of the lead characters. Also, having played one of the lead characters, oh, this is so good. Orchestra for the first year, and then I quit violin because at that point I had studied it for like 4 or 5 years, and the string instrument community was a little too high strung for me. Pun totally intended. I just couldn't anymore, and I started taking voice lessons, which is what I really wanted to do. So I joined choir. I don't remember the early days of being in choir, but I do remember my junior year, I joined the jazz choir, which was an audition only choir. Everyone does an a cappella audition. I don't know if it's changed now. I don't go back to my high school. I do not ask people. I don't care. It left me scarred. It was a minute-long audition, and everyone did it a cappella. I did a Norah Jones song called Sinking Soon. Oh my god, I need to do that song. That's gonna be my next thing. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing out, because every Saturday I post a little serenade for you. So give it a follow. I'll post it right here. There it is. There's the handle. Or it'll like show up here or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be down below. Just check everywhere. Check under your pillow. Check in your closet. It could be anywhere. I remember singing that, and I got in, and the next year we sang, and oh my god, the jazz choir dresses. They were awful to wear. The choir voted for them, and then everyone would bitch about them, and I could bitch about it because I did not vote for it. It was a tube that was ruched, and then it was just bright red. And then at the bottom, it would flare out into like a mermaid dress. A couple ruches there, here and there, so it looked gathered. And then there was a big bow, like a big flower right there on your knee. There was a giant petticoat under there, and it felt like you were dragging around a sack of potatoes around your ankles. I think I burned that dress. Man, I kind of wish I kept it. I would want to wear it right now, just for this video. Just being in choir, and it was the first year that I competitively sang, and in that first competition I placed 5th in the state, and that was when I thought, I think I could do music for a living, because I seem to be pretty good at it. I'm not gonna name names. We're gonna call her Mrs. Schenectady, and she could be really nice, and she could be funny, and she had these funny stories of when she was performing in her 20s and 30s. I was taking private lessons, and for this competition she played the piano for me. Basically was trying to give me technical advice despite the fact that I already had a teacher. But of course at the time I had no idea what the etiquette was, so she was stepping on a lot of toes doing the competition, and she was teaching me classical technique that in retrospect was really what they call covered. Ooh. And it ultimately hurts your throat. Run if someone tells you that. Anyway, so she told me that. I was like, oh no. I was miserable. Placed 5th in state. The next year was my senior year of high school. I was jaded, and at that point I had the sense to know that she had overstepped her boundaries. Maybe I'm painting a harsher picture than it actually was, but she was not. She was kind of backstabby. After starting classes at the community college where I had an actually great teacher who didn't yell at us, I was like, oh, she's insane. That same year, I auditioned and got through to the finals of the state competition that I had placed 5th in the year before, and I had placed 6th, and it's a different competition every year, so I can't expect to win the same place or higher than the year before. I still got 6th in the state of Oregon, and literally hundreds of students auditioned for this. So I felt very good about myself. The next day, I go to her office, and she tries to intimidate me. Why didn't you get in the top 3 this year? Why didn't you win the competition this year? What's wrong with you? I don't know. Out of the 3 judges, 2 of them gave me the same score they gave the girl who got first place. It was subjective. She scares the shit out of me internally, but I'm trying to keep my cool because I'm just this puny high schooler who's like, who's a big fish in a small pond essentially, and she is living vicariously through me. So she's putting on the pressure, and she's in her spinny chair at her desk, and then when I tell her like, sorry, I don't know, she spins out. I used to remember what she said to me, but of course I don't care anymore. But she said something that was just like, so wait, you're blaming me for losing, even though I sang my best. I kept my cool. I think I just answered her question very simply. I said, okay, bye. I left. She would be like a frickin' toddlers and tiaras mom, like just cracking the whip. And it's like, lady, I'm not, no. So if it wasn't for my first voice teacher, like my private voice teacher outside of school, I would not be doing what I'm doing. Pretty cool. This was the best idea for it, yeah. And with that, our first episode of Nood-o-Clock comes to an end. I'm going to try to get back to bed. I'll talk to you later. Bye.